Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to a news cycle on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agmofwegbe. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. Governor of Edo State, Senator Monday Okpebholo, and his deputy, Dennis Idahosa, have been sworn in. Chief Justice of the State, Daniel Okungbowa, administered the oath of number 1 and 2 citizens of the state at Samuel Ogbemudia Stadium. They both swore to uphold the Constitution and work within its dictates, as well as to see to the well-being of the people of the state. As the campaign for the November 16 gubernatorial election in Ondo State intensifies, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa has taken his campaign tour to our local government, receiving a warm welcome from traditional and community leaders, as well as key stakeholders at the palace of the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunoye. Kekalemo Okere has details.
The visit was marked by strong endorsement from the royal fathers, who pledged their unwavering support for Governor Aiyedatiwa's election bid. Speaking on behalf of the traditional rulers in the council area, the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunoye, assures the governor of the people's commitment to his candidacy. Oba Ogunoye noted that the campaign could almost be seen as a formality, as the traditional council had unanimously endorsed Aiyedatiwa for continuity in governance.
We have discussed it, and let me assure you that our people across the length and breadth of the local government are in your support, that you should be the next governor of the state, and will actually vote for you. Be rest assured, the Obas, even across the length and breadth of Ondo State, have all decided that we should continue to be in office.
The Deputy Governor, Dr. Olaide Adelami, expressed gratitude to Governor Aiyedatiwa for entrusting him with role of deputy and running mate, for appointing Omowumi Isaac, another Owo indigene, as the Commissioner for Finance. Adelami emphasized the significance of this gesture to the people of Owo, urging them to show their appreciation with vote for All Progressive Congress.
By the grace of God, this government, under the leadership of our able governor, is coming to transform Ondo State. I often say it everywhere I go. It's not, I won't say it's a politician like the typical politician. Once he promises, he fulfills, and he listens to people.
In his response, Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa thanked the people of Owo for their support. He emphasized the importance of peace and security of his administration and reaffirmed his commitment to completing all projects initiated under the late Governor Akeredolu's administration. He further assures the monarch that the upgrade of the Rufus Giwa Polytechnic to a university will receive due attention, alongside enhanced funding for its subvention.
I'm so thankful to the traditional rulers of our, the political leaders, for mobilizing their people and for charging them to rally around and come out on the 16th of November to vote APC.
Meanwhile, at the popular Mobi ground in Owo, Governor Aiyedatiwa met with thousands of enthusiastic supporters from various communities, including Ishuada, Ipili, and Usho. Supporters carried placards with inscriptions demonstrating their solidarity for the governor, creating a vibrant display of community backing. Governor Aiyedatiwa expressed gratitude for the overwhelming turnout and urged supporters to transform their enthusiasm into vote on the 16th of November 2024. From Akure, Kekalemo Okere, Global Television News.
Thank you, Kekalemo. Meanwhile, ahead of the 2024 Ondo State gubernatorial election, the chairman Sheyori Movement and Senator representing Ondo South, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, has thrown his weight behind the All Progressives Congress. He made this known at the Ayeshori Convention at Fortune University in the Botako community of Okitipupa local government area of the state. Kekalemo Okere reports.
It was like a carnival at the University of Fortune Igbo Tako as billionaire business mogul and senator representing Ondo South Senatorial District, Senator Jimoh Ibrahim, leading over 500,000 Asheyori movement to All Progressive Congress. Jimoh Ibrahim urged residents of Igbo Tako community in Okitipupa local government area to shun violence and come out en masse to vote for All Progressive Congress on November 16 governorship election.
Asheyori movement is an arm of APC, which I set up. And when I contested last time, I got 111,665 votes. That's a lot of votes. Now our membership are 520,000 across the state. And that's very significant to any political party that want to win the election. APC is our party. And no matter the political differences, we have to make sure that APC wins the election. And then that chairman will be on our neck. And we are happy that he came all the way from Abuja. That underscored the significance of Asheyori. And I can assure you next week, we will vote massively for APC.
Many people have described you as a good philanthropist. What is the motivation? The chairman, All Progressive Congress, Abdullahi Ganduje, says the convention is to motivate and encourage Asheyori members as well as appeal to them to come out en masse to exercise their franchise on the 16th of November. He applauds Senator Jimoh Ibrahim for laying a solid foundation in empowerment, infrastructure, among others, for the progress of the state.
I'm so happy to see this crowd. This crowd is intimidating. In fact, the quality of the crowd is also intimidating. The enthusiasm, the alertness, the preparedness for the coming election on the 16th November 2024, we are convinced you are ready for the election.
Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, who was also represented by his deputy Olaide Adelami, praised Senator Jimoh Ibrahim for bringing development to the community. He also pleaded with the residents to vote for APC for transformative regime.
When I got to this place, I was marveled when I saw the level of infrastructure that has been planted and placed there. It's a common saying that whoever brings education brings light. He has brought light to.
However, a 1-minute silence was observed in honor of the late former governor Akeredolu Olarotimi. From Akure, Kikelomo Okere, Global Television News.
Let's turn to other stories now. The Court of Appeal in Abuja has constituted a special 3-member panel to handle political cases from Rivers State, with sittings scheduled to begin on November 14. This move follows the escalating legal tussles stemming from a rift between Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara and his predecessor, the current Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike. The feud has led to a surge of legal cases from the state, creating factions among political actors and resulting in conflicting judgments from courts of similar authority. In an effort to streamline the resolution of the disputes, the Court of Appeal President Justice Monica Dongba-Mesam has appointed a special panel to oversee all appeals related to the political crisis in the state. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund, has held a 1-day strategic interactive engagement for heads of beneficiary institutions at its headquarters in Abuja. Ramson Enoch Agbo now reports.
In an address of welcome, Executive Secretary of the fund, Architect Sonny Echono, says the TED Fund has made a significant stride in funding numerous projects to improve infrastructure and enhance research capability.
Over the past year, the fund has made significant strides funding numerous projects aimed at improving infrastructure, enhancing research capabilities, and supporting faculty development. Indeed, with the kind permission of the Board of Trustees, we will be meeting in a couple of days. We will be.
Echono also acknowledged that effort is in place to ensure the right tax is being paid for the purpose of efficiency.
To ensure that everybody that is supposed to be in the tax bracket is coming on board, We're also collectively working to improve the efficiency of collection, that people are paying the right amount of tax. And for this too, I also want to express our gratitude to our two committees in the National Assembly who have also worked diligently in this regard.
Also speaking at the event, Chairman, Board of Trustees of TET Fund, Aminu Masari, described as erroneous a view by some people that TET Fund intervention is meant to handle all responsibilities in education.
Some institutions will do apologies, and some people outside there see TET Fund not only as an intervention agency, but as an agency that will have to shoulder all responsibilities in education, which I believe is not right. I think it is our time we start to think.
The one-day strategic interactive engagement for heads of beneficiary institutions availed the heads of institutions the opportunity to air their views and make contributions to the smooth running of the intervention. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global Television.
Many thanks, Ramsey, for your reporting. The Northern Youth Assembly has condemned House of Representatives member Abdul Mumin Jibrin, representing Kiru Bebeji Federal Constituency of Kano State, for endorsing the controversial tax reform bill. The former chairman of the House Committee on Appropriation allegedly provoked the Assembly during a recent TV interview where he was reported what the youth body referred to as Anti-North Tax Reform Bill. A statement signed by the National Assistant Publicity Secretary Mohammed Bochi on behalf of the leadership of the Assembly from the 19 northern states expressed disappointment over the lawmakers' stance on issues that would allegedly further relegate the region economically and commercially. Students of the Federal University Oyo Ekiti have issued a 48-hour ultimatum to the federal government and the Federal Road Maintenance Agency, FEMA, to commence repairs on the federal road or face consequences. The students, led by the president of its student union government, Mary Abiodun, stormed the office of FEMA in Ado Ekiti, the state capital, to protest the ongoing accidents and deaths of their colleagues due to the poor condition of the Ifakioye-Ikole road. They lamented what they described as the severe harm caused to the students' population, resulting in the loss of over 10 students in fatal accidents. Head of Lagbaja family of Ilobu Kingdom in Osun State, Demola Lagbaja, says it is regrettable that the late Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Taoreed Lagbaja, did not. He had stated this while receiving the St. Charles Grammar School Oshobo Old Boys Association, who paid a condolence visit to the Lagbaja family house in Ibadan, Oyo State. He says the family expected that their late son would, after serving his tenure, retire to enjoy the fruit of his labor, but stressed that the family had submitted to the will of God following the incident. He said some tears will never dry, stating that the late Lagbaja had spent all his active years in the military, having completed his A-levels at the Polytechnic. Troops of the Nigerian Army deployed for rescue operations in Taraba State have arrested 12 suspected kidnappers. The kidnappers were reportedly apprehended after a distress call from residents of Chachanji village regarding the abduction of 2 individuals by a group of around 10 armed men on motorcycles. In a statement posted on X.com, the Army says 14 motorcycles, 2 bags of India hemp, and a locally made pistol were recovered during the rescue operation. Commissioner of Police in Kwara State, Victor Olaya, has frowned at reports of alleged jungle justice against some vigilante groups in the state. Speaking on the murder of Fonlanre Adebayo, a graduate of the University of Ilorin, Olaya warned vigilantes not to take laws into their hands in the handling of suspects. He says late Lanre got into an argument with the vigilante group in the Ita-Elekba area of Ilorin metropolis, and they decided to teach him what he called a lesson, which ended tragically. A powerful explosion has shaken the city of Jos, sending shockwaves through surrounding communities. Eyewitnesses reported that the blast occurred around 10:30 a.m. near the densely populated Terminus Market area. Initial reports indicated that several people were injured in the blast, with some sources suggesting there may have been fatalities. The extent of the damage remains unclear, but witnesses described scenes of destruction and chaos. You're watching the live broadcast of News Cycle on Global Television, coming to you from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. When News Cycle returns, petrol pump price may drop as Dangote marketers sign deal. Details of these as well as foreign and sports stories for you. After this break, please do stay with us. Now let's talk some business. The federal government has announced that trade facilitation programs implemented by the current administration have increased the country's trade balance to 6.5 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2024. It states that efforts to maximize economic opportunities ensured exports accounted for 60.89% or 19.42 trillion naira of total trade, representing a slight increase of 1.31% from 19.17 trillion naira in the first quarter of 2024 and a 201.76% rise from 6.44 trillion naira in the second quarter of 2023. Vice President Kashif Shettima said these are the third national conference of non-oil exports organized by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council in Abuja. The National Bureau of Statistics says Nigeria's foreign exchange earnings grew in the second quarter of the current year due to strong export performance, with the trade surplus increasing to 6.95 trillion naira. Chairman of the Presidential Fiscal Policy and Tax Reform Committee, Taiwo Oyedele, says Nigerians earning minimum wage or a little above it will be exempted from the pay-as-you-earn tax under the new tax reforms. Oyedele disclosed these via his X handle as he answered questions about the tax reform bills. President Bola Tinubu had transmitted 4 tax reform bills to the National Assembly for consideration. The tax reform bills, which stemmed from the recommendations of Oyedele's committee, have divided members of the National Assembly. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, has stopped importing refined petroleum products and is now off-taking fuel from the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and other local refineries. The company's Group Chief Executive Officer, Mele Kyari, disclosed these at the ongoing conference of the Nigerian Association of Petroleum Explorationists held in Lagos. This is time when some petroleum marketers insisted that they would import petroleum products and sell at a price lesser than that of the $20 billion refinery. In a related development, the management of Dangote Refinery says it is set to meet with officials of the Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria to discuss direct petrol supply arrangements. This development comes just a day after the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, IPMAN, had announced it reached an agreement with Dangote Refinery to purchase petrol directly, bypassing intermediaries. The association's publicity secretary, Joseph Obele, stated that the refinery had already sent an email to its president, Dr. Billy Hari, proposing a business meeting in the coming days. Progress is being made now. Let's turn to the aviation sector, where the federal government, through the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has restricted licensed flights crew members from operating multiple airlines. This was contained in a circular signed by the Acting Director General, Civil Aviation, Captain Chris Najomo, who declared the acts illegal, noting that authority findings shows that pilots and other crew members render services to different airlines. The circular indicates that instances where pilots operate for more than one airline concurrently pose a risk to safety, stressing that the license issued to a pilot already member of the flight crew is operator specific based on the approved standards or procedures SOPs. Let's take the news cycle forward now. South Africa's unemployment rate has decreased for the first time this year, dropping to 32.1% in the third quarter, down from 33.5% in the previous quarter. That's according to the country's official statistics agency. Africa's largest and most industrialized economy has for years struggled with high unemployment, with women and youth being disproportionately affected. The number of employed people increased by 294,000 during the quarter. Again, that's according to statistics from the South Africa's quarterly labor force survey, while the number of unemployed decreased by 373,000. Jobs were added in the construction, trade, transport. The government of Equatorial Guinea has filed a lawsuit against Baltasar Engonga, the former Director General of the country's National Financial Investigation Agency, for misconduct in connection with a sex tape scandal. The government says that the actions of the ex-anti-graft agency chief violates the ethical and moral values of noble Equatorial Guinean society. In a public address covered by local media platform, the Minister of Information announced that the Equatorial Guinean government, through the State Attorney General's office, would initiate a thorough investigation into the acts committed by Baltasar Engonga. Beyond Africa now, Dutch police have made 5 more arrests over the violence which followed a match involving an Israeli football team in Amsterdam. The 5 men, all from the Netherlands and aged between 18 and 37, are suspected to be of public violence against persons before and after the Maccabi Tel Aviv match against the local team Ajax. Prime Minister Dick Schoof said anti-Semitic attacks against Israelis and Jews were nothing short of shocking and reprehensible. Now time to get into the ever-exciting world of sports. Many fireworks are expected as the maiden edition of the Varsity Cup Men's Football 2024 season ends at the main bowl of the University of Benin Sports Complex, Benin City in Edo State. The final match will be between the comeback Kings University of Ilorin against the unbreakable Joseph Tarka University of Agriculture, Makurdi. This will be preceded by a third-place match between Bafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife, and the University of Nigeria, Nsukka. Ahead of preparations for the Super Eagles 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier against Benin Republic, Moses Simon and Samuel Chukwueze were among the early birds to the Super Eagles camp in Côte d'Ivoire. The Super Eagles media officer confirmed their arrival, saying no fewer than 8 players had arrived. He says some of others were still expected. Captain William Ekong, Ademola Lukman, Simon, reigning African Player of the Year Victor Osimhen, and 19 other players were invited for the qualifier. And that's your news cycle, and it came to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. A quick reminder that Global TV is on DSTV channel 365 and on Star Times 276, as well as free-to-air on Nightcom. So kindly use our handle at Global TV NG, as well as other handles you now see on your screen to follow us across all of our social media platforms. I am Uyi Agumofwegbe, thanking you so very specially for watching. I'll see you again.